Wisconsin's Attorney General visited the Cooley region this morning, announcing multiple law enforcement agencies across the state are receiving opioid settlement funds. WEAU's Dashiell Menzel tells us how one agency will use their funding.
When I took office as Attorney General, I knew that this had to be a priority for the Department of Justice. It's an issue that you can see in the numbers is impacting people all over Wisconsin. And I've also heard from so many people who have been impacted in one way or another.
Wisconsin Attorney General Josh Kaul visited the Sparta Police Department to announce 12 law enforcement agencies across the state are receiving a combined $750,000 in grants to prevent and reduce the dangers of opioid use.
The scale of this crisis is enormous, and the reality is that even that amount of money is not going to be sufficient to provide all of the things we need to provide to fight this crisis. So the more that we can use these funds effectively and efficiently and have the biggest impact possible, the more that they're going to be able to improve safety in our communities.
The Sparta Police Department is receiving $250,000. Police Chief Emily Nottestead says the funds will be used on several initiatives.
Our largest two initiatives within the project are to add a community resource specialist to our department, as well as to help fund peer support within our region.
Nottestead says the Sparta Police Department responded to 3 opioid overdose cases last week, all of them being within 27 hours. She adds the police department must look at many different ways to help their community.
We need to look for a lot of different ways to potentially address those problems and get to the core root of the problems. We can't arrest problems away all the time. You know, what are causing these problems to start with? So being able to get funding to do a project that we wouldn't necessarily have the money to otherwise do feels really good.
In Sparta, Dashiell Menzel, WEAU 13 News.
Thanks, Dashiell. This grant program is part of the Wisconsin Department of Health Services plan to use the state's share of the national prescription opiate litigation settlement with opioid distributors and manufacturers.